Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Aditi Ghosh on your favorite numerology channel Inner World Revealed, and in this vlog we're going to look into the much requested and much awaited topic of the Lo Shu Square. The Lo Shu Square comes from the ancient Chinese tradition of placement of objects in relation to the flow of natural energy. Unlike the other numerology techniques that I have discussed in this channel, which were a part of the Pythagorean numerology system, the Lo Shu Square comes from ancient Chinese heritage. The Pythagorean system works in a completely different way, so don't get confused between these two systems. So the Lo Shu Square is basically a 3x3 magic square. And what is a magic square? Well, a magic square is a square which is further divided into smaller squares, and there's an array of numbers inside them. And when you find the sum of all the numbers in each row, each column or each diagonal, the sum comes to be the same. So this is a magic square. In the Lo Shu Square, which is a special magic square, we have a definite arrangement of numbers in a predefined sequence, and the sequence is very important. This is what makes a Lo Shu Square, and the boxes where these numbers are placed are called the permanent placement for the numbers. So you can see the Lo Shu Square where the top row has 4, 9 and 2, the middle row has 3, 5 and 7, and the base row has 8, 1 and 6. And whenever you find the sum of any particular row, any particular column or any diagonal, it always appears to be of 15. And this is the reason why the number 15 has a very special place in numerology, and it is considered to be very auspicious. Now people, there's a very big difference in the way in which Pythagorean numerology works and in the way in which Chinese numerology works. In Pythagorean numerology, we primarily work with a set of static numbers which we derive from the birth date and the birth name, and these are actually called the core numbers. And then we check the interaction of these core numbers with some cyclic numbers which form an integral part of our progressive chart. This is how Pythagorean numerology works. But the system of Lo Shu Square is quite different. Out here, the only static is these permanent placement of numbers where the numbers are to be placed. This is the only static, and rest of all is variable. We can use your birthday, we can use the numbers from your birthday and place it in the square and evaluate. We can use your house number, place it in the square and evaluate. We can use the digits from your car number, your phone number, or any other number that you're associated with in your journey of life, and we can place the digits in the box and evaluate anything that you're associated with. And this helps us understand how the numbers have flown into your life, in what way they have flown into your life, and how they have influenced you from time to time. Which are the numbers that you've been associated with in the past, and how they had affected you and they are not influencing you anymore right now, and which are the numbers right now which are influencing you very strongly, and how has all of this changed your life. And this is the system of Lo Shu Square numerology. So let us now look at the magical Lo Shu Square and try to understand how we can work with it. So we have 3 columns, 3 rows and 2 diagonals, and all of these are adding up to 15, we know that. And the placement of numbers in each row, each column or each diagonal forms a pattern that can be stereotyped or named. It is actually much similar to the Pythagorean birth chart technique that I have covered in this channel earlier. To watch that log, please click on the I button. To me, it feels perhaps the Pythagorean birth chart technique is an inspired technique from the Lo Shu system, and the two are quite similar and could be interrelated, yet they are also very different. Now, let us come back to our magic Lo Shu Square and let us begin with the first column on the left, all the boxes of the first column of the left. And these 3 squares together when we have numbers in these squares. They form the pattern of thoughtfulness. All the boxes of the middle column forms the pattern of willpower, all the boxes. And then the column, all the boxes in the column of the right forms the pattern of positive outlook towards life. Again, the first row at the top forms the pattern of being guided by the head, all the boxes of the top row. The middle row, again, all the boxes of the middle row forms the pattern of being guided by the heart. Heart rules overhead when you have more numbers in this box. And the base row, or the three middle boxes at the bottom, forms the pattern of being guided by action. Now let us come to the two diagonals. The diagonal from the top left to the right bottom forms the pattern of spirituality, and the other diagonal forms the pattern of, again, willpower. Now say for instance we are working with any numbers. For instance, let us work with a date of birth, because that's the simplest thing that we can work with. So for instance, let us consider the person is born on the 18th of March 1987. So with respect to the permanent placement of numbers, which you can see on the left, this is how we would need to arrange the birth numbers in the square. We have to put all the digits in the permanent placement of the numbers. And then we have to find which rows and columns weigh more. So out here the maximum weight is in the guided by action row, you can see. And then we have very heavy thoughtfulness and willpower columns. Then we have guided by heart. Then we again have the willpower diagonal. One value we have in the positive approach column and no values in the spirituality diagonal. Now I will be getting into more details of this technique in the logs that I would make in the future on this same topic. But for now, based on what we have learned in this log, we can quickly conclude that the person is physically active, very active. The person also has a good amount of willpower and is also quite thoughtful. The person also listens to his or her heart before the mind. You can see that. And quickly is ready to act also. However, they may fall behind because they may lack optimism, positive approach. Also, they don't have much of a spiritual bent of mind, you can see that also, and they believe more in practical and tangible reality than in spirituality. Now the appearance and repeats of these numbers in specific boxes also has a meaning, which we shall, again as I said, we would be delving deeper into that subject in the next video on the same topic next month. For now, you can begin working with any number that is associated with you or is affecting you for a long time and is a part of your life in some way or the other, and you can find out how it affects you. It doesn't need to be necessarily your birth date or birth name number. It could be your ID number, it could be your bank account number, phone number, anything that you're dealing with. If you've now liked watching this entire log, if it was informative for you, I'm sure you would also love the birth chart system, which is very similar, which is a part of Pythagorean numerology, and you can watch that video also, or rather the playlist also, by clicking on the I button. If you feel intrigued by the marvels of numerology, you can also read my books All is One and Cycle of Nine. All is One is the beginner's guide to Pythagorean numerology, and Cycle of Nine is the part 2 of the same series. So you can upgrade yourself by reading Cycle of Nine. The Amazon links to both the books are provided in the description box. Before you go, also remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more such content rich videos like this. And that'll be all for today. Have a very good time. Bye bye.